Maxwell House Coffee presents Good News of 1938. Another hour behind the scenes in Hollywood, brought to you by the makers of Maxwell House Coffee from Metro-Goldwyn-Mayer, home of the screen's greatest stars. Tonight you will hear Robert Montgomery, Frank Morgan, Fanny, Brice, and Hanley Stafford, Rita Johnson, Gabby Hartnett of the Chicago Cubs baseball team, Louis Stone, Mickey Rooney, and Connie Boswell. And in the concert hall, Meredith Wilson will play the world's most beloved march. See if you can guess what it'll be. And now, here's your host for this evening, Mr.
Just a minute, son. I'll take charge. Yes, just a minute, son. I'll take charge.
Well, Mr. Morgan, I understood that Meredith Wilson was to be master of ceremonies.
Wilson? Oh, you're new here, aren't you, son?
No, sir.
Well, would you like to keep your job?
Yes, sir.
Well, you just watch me, young fellow, and you won't make any mistakes. Ladies and gentlemen, in the absence of my very dear friend Bob Taylor, I'm sure you'll be glad to hear that your host for this evening will be none other than that beloved screen star, Frank Morgan. Yes. You may applaud if you wish. You can...
well, you're doing fine, Mr. Morgan.
Thanks, son. What's your name?
Ted Pearson?
Yes, well, stick around, Ted. Do you know Bob Taylor?
Why, yes, sir. I know quite a bit about him.
Well, Ted, we won't talk about that. I happen to know that Bob Taylor is a very nice fellow. You can forget all that stuff about his cheating at cards.
I never heard about that, sir.
Well, I'm telling you now. Taylor is not exactly a card cheat. At least all those stories have certainly been exaggerated. He's a darn good fellow, and he's got a heart as big as a mouse. I mean, a house. And I'm not going to stand here and listen to you slander him. Is that clear?
Yes, sir.
Well, all right. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I can think of no finer way to add to Bob Taylor's happiness this evening than by putting this program over with a bang. He'll be thrilled no end when he hears you applauding his old friend, Frank Morgan. Yeah. Now, it's obvious to me we'll have to have some way of coordinating this applause. Suppose we arrange a little signal. I'll give you the signal, and then you applaud. Now, here's the signal. And remember, you're really applauding for Bob, not me. Now, let's try it.
Oh, you've got them now, Mr. Morgan.
Sure, now we're ready to start the program. Oh, Meredith.
All right, here we go.
Here we go where? Tell me the name of your first number so I can introduce you, Meredith.
Oh, no, Frank. I'm taking Taylor's place tonight.
Oh, no, you don't, Meredith. Why, do you think I went to all that trouble?
All what trouble?
Well,
It just happened that Bob Taylor has a heavy shooting schedule, and I've been appointed master of ceremonies for tonight.
Now, don't be naive, Meredith. Who do you think arranged that shooting schedule? I'm no fool.
Frank, you can't handle this program, and that's all there is to it.
Meredith, haven't I always been a good friend of yours?
Well, Frank, since you mention it, no.
Well,
You know darn well you told everyone I gave you a rubber check.
Why, Meredith, that's not true. I just told them that my car had a flat tire last week, and if I hadn't had your check, I wouldn't have been able to repair it. It's awful the way people get things twisted.
Well, just the same, I'm not going to let you be the master of ceremonies tonight.
No?
Why? The people don't take you seriously. You have to be impressive.
Impressive. That's the way. Why, Meredith, I can make this entire audience applaud with their hands just by making a sound.
Oh, you can, eh?
Yes, well, listen now.
Well, I'll be hornswoggled.
Yeah.
I'll bet it was an accident.
Oh, do you think so?
Well, I've got to take my hat off to you, Frank. How do you do it?
Well, it's my personality, that's all. Can I help it if I'm electric? Why, audiences all over the world have been thrilled by the mere...
Excuse me, Mr. Morgan.
What is it, son?
Well, about that applause signal you arranged with the audience.
Aha.
The engineer says you'll have to get a different signal because the percussion on the dial is...
step outside, will you please? Now, the first thing you have to learn in radio is discretion. You see, you get it.
Ladies and gentlemen, the orchestra starts the program with Merrily We Live, from the picture of the same name.
Like the love and laughter, for now and ever after, a girl, a boy, a kid. No greater joy than this, merrily we live. Rolling through a valley, or up and down an alley, we never fret or fuss. It's all the same to us, merrily we live. Every day is sunny, May Day, a bright and gay day, how well we go. Part of never in his Mayday, put on a finer show. Isn't this a sweet dream? When up you won't get me dreams, and just between us two.